In this video, we will learn about imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers include the symbol I with a value of square root of -1 and other numbers multiplied by I. Now let's raise I to the exponents 2, 3, and 4. First we have I squared. Based on one of the laws of exponents, I squared can be rewritten as I times I. So we have the square root of -1, that is I, times another square root of -1. From these two, we get the square root of -1 raised to the exponent 2. Since getting the square root is inverse of raising the base to the exponent 2, these two operations will cancel out and we are left with -1. Therefore, we have to remember that I squared is not +1 but rather -1. How about I to the exponent 3? We can write that as I squared times I. So 2 plus 1 is 3 according to one of the laws of exponents. Okay, so we now know that I squared is equal to -1. Therefore, this I squared is -1 times I is again the square root of -1. If we multiply these two, we get negative the square root of -1, or that is -I. Therefore, remember, I cubed is equal to -I. Okay, lastly, we have I to the 4. Okay, we can write this as I squared, sorry, times I squared. I squared times I squared, sorry about that. Okay, so again, I squared is -1. Therefore, we have -1 times -1. And of course, that is equal to 1. So remember, I to the 4 is equal to 1. Again, let's recap. I squared is equal to -1. I cubed is equal to -I. And I to the 4 is equal to 1. So we have to remember these three results. Now, based on the last case, we can say that if the number I is raised to an exponent that is divisible by 4, the entire expression is automatically equal to 1. Let's simplify some imaginary numbers. First, let's say we have I to the 36. Okay, the first question is the given exponent divisible by 4? Yes, we can divide 36 by 4. If we do that, we get 9. So, 36 again is divisible by 4. Therefore, I to the 36 is automatically equal to 1. How about I to the exponent 77? Can we divide 77 by 4? No. But we can divide 76 by 4. So we can write I to the 77 as I to the 76 times I to the 1, because 76 plus 1 is equal to 77. So, since 76 is divisible by 4, I to the 76 is automatically equal to 1. And of course, I to the 1 is equal to I. 1 times I is I. Next, we have I to the 130. Okay, can we divide 130 by 4? No. But we can divide 128 by 4. Therefore, we can write I to the 130 as I to the 128 times I squared, because 128 plus 2 is 130. Okay, since 128 is divisible by 4, I to the 128 is automatically equal to 1. And we know that I squared is -1. So 1 times -1 is -1. 20. Next, we have I to the 287. Can we divide 287 by 4? No. But we can divide 284 by 4. So we write I to the 287 as I to the 284 times I cube because 284 plus 3 is equal to 287. Okay, so since 284 is divisible by 4, I to the 284 is automatically equal to 1. And we know, sorry, and we know that I cube is equal to negative I. 1 times negative I is equal to negative I. Lastly, we have I to the 1040. Can we divide 1040 by 4? Yes, therefore I to the 1040 is automatically equal to 1. If you have any question, please leave a comment.